Hey guys, I'm about to get my day going today. It's Thursday, the 17th of January. Anyway, I was reading my comments and answering them, and I enjoy doing that. I like listening to the comments of other people that are about my age and younger. It doesn't matter what age you are. I just like listening to the comments. But one of them struck a nerve this morning, and I need to ad lib on it. And the guy at the end of the guy's comment, he said the term baby crying government. Here's what I want to say. You know, if you have a cookie jar and you have little kids and they like cookies, and you let the kid go in the cookie jar, this is where you learn how to be an adult, right here, where I'm about to tell you. So the mom sees the kid go in a cookie jar. Okay, she just baked the cookies. Yeah, I understand they want one. She usually lets them have one. At least one. Okay, then, oh, can I have another one? No, you had one. You're going to wait. This is mom talking. This is a real American mom, okay? What they used to be. So anyway, the mom would say to the kid, no more cookies. So what happens if the mom don't say no more cookies? The next thing you know is you got some kid sitting on the floor with dirt all over his face from the cookies or whatever, and all over the floor holding the cookie jars, sick to his stomach because he ate too many cookies. And then it gets to the point where he brings his freaking friends in and they're taking the cookies, you know. And the poor mom, she's got other things to do than bake cookies, so she can't be baking freaking cookies all day just to satisfy this whim. So this is what's wrong with our politicians. Instead of learning how to police yourself, which is what adults do, that's the difference between a kid and an adult. You police yourself. You stop yourself from overindulging in whatever the heck it is, okay? So, in Pennsylvania, and believe me, we have our problems in Pennsylvania, but in Pennsylvania, they have this thing called SPORT, S-P-O-R-T, and it means sportsmen policing our ranks together. So in other words, it's basically hunters, you know, making sure that other hunters are following the laws, the rules, or whatever. Now you can look at this and you can say, well, this sounds like, you know, squealing and telling on one another, and it probably is, but the point is we're trying to keep a certain standard of doing things. You know, you can't just go out there and start shooting in any direction, in all directions, and think it's okay, because it's not. Alright, so the point is, let's get back to the policing. So now we got these people who are always indulging, always got what they wanted, never were told no to the cookie jar. What happens to these people? They follow the path of least resistance in their life, okay? So they go to college, they don't pay for nothing, they end up going, you know, and I'm not saying all of them, but they end up going through all these different things, and now they become to the point where they need a job. Well, they don't want a real job because God forbid they should have a job that they have to police themselves, because they don't know how to police themselves. So what happens? We get people in politics in Washington who have no concept of how to police themselves, okay? They can't police themselves. They don't know how to say no. They don't know when to say no. They don't even know why they should say no, so they don't. So they keep putting their hand in the cookie jar and keep stealing it, and now they're bringing in all their friends and all these, and what I mean by that is all of the Senate, all of the House of Representatives, and every other part of government, including local government, and they're sticking their fingers in the candy jar, or the cookie jar, and you know what? The American people are getting to the point where we're sick and tired of filling that freaking cookie jar, okay? It's about time the jar becomes empty and they start to work for a living. I don't think that anybody in politics, I don't care who they are, including the President of the United States, and I'm not picking on any certain president, but all of the people who work in government should start off with an E1's pay and only get a raise after 10 years of service, okay? E1, and from the last time I checked, I think the grandkids were telling me they were getting like $1,000 a month or less as an E1 pay, and that's what they should be getting. Because why should people be able to fly across this country 5 times a day and have 10,000 square foot homes who are always have their hand in the cookie jar, okay? Why don't they take that from them, all right, and only allow them an E1's pay, and yeah, we'll pay for your flight to get from here to there, but not 3 times a day. You come over here once a month and you stay, and that's the way it is. Because they're pissing away, excuse my language, but they're throwing away our money by the bushelsfuls. It's not where it's a cookie jar anymore. It's more like a freaking tanker truck that they're all at every day. You ever watch? I don't know if you ever worked construction or saw a food truck come onto a construction project. The food truck pulls in and all the guys they're hanging from steel beams. They're jumping down. They want to get to the food truck. That's what these politicians are like. They can't wait to get to the cookie jar, okay, and take, get this, not their cookies. They're taking our freaking cookies, and I'm tired of it. So I think that this has to stop. And since there's nobody there to police this thing, and this is why I think some people talk about and I don't believe this, but it's, you never know. They talk about a possible civil war. In our last civil war, there was a dividing line. Anybody below that line, they were the enemy. Okay, the guys above the line, they were the enemies to them. How in the heck can we have a civil war when the enemy is 2 different politicians or 2 different political parties, it seems, and they're intermingled everywhere? It's not going to end up good if it does turn into something. We'll be shooting our own neighbors or whatever. So the point is that we need somebody that's going to police this. We need to develop something that somebody is an arbitrator that can stop this, that has full power. But it has to be somebody who knows to take 1 cookie and no more, okay? Or it has to be somebody who's going to be fair. It has to be somebody who's reasonable, and it has to be somebody who's going to listen to the American people and their wishes. And whatever the wishes are at the moment is what they are. If you have 101 people make a vote and 90 made another vote, the people with 101, they're the winners. The 90 guys, the 90 people, they're not the winners. So you forget them. You only go with the winners at the moment. And if later on, whatever those people decided and they got somebody on their team and now they got 101 and you got 90, they're the freaking winners. This should not be a class just because, oh, we almost won, so since we almost won, you know, maybe we should be able to have our rights too. Well, it's the same thing. You can't have, you know, all the cookies in the jar. You can only have one. And the choice is, you know, if you lose, you lose. So you deal with that. But our politicians don't seem to be able to deal with that. So again, we need someone. We need to develop some sort of thing. And the politicians obviously ain't going to do it. Somehow we have to have someone who's going to go to these places, like the thing that's going on with Pelosi, Schumer, and the president, and Trump. They need to have somebody sit down and say, look, you will come here today. You will stay here till you solve this freaking problem. Find out all the facts. The arbitrator needs to know the facts, and then say, what are we trying to do as a country? Do we want this or do we not want this? Do we want to be a sovereign nation or not a sovereign nation? And then whatever the answer is to that, this arbitrator should say, hey, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And then the arbitrator backs away. We don't want to give him total power except for at that one meeting to make the decision. So, you know, when I read that this morning, it reminds me of when I was raising my kids. You know, at nighttime we had in our house we had one bedroom that was downstairs. And at nighttime my oldest son used to go out and, you know, steal candy out of the cabinet. Well, one night I decided to sit downstairs and wait for him. It's not a big deal. It has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with his health. That's all it was. So, you know, you don't be stealing candy from the candy cupboard. That's the way life is. You know, do it in the open, like one person said about sunlight is a disinfectant, and it's true. So I caught him one night and I said to him, look, nobody's, you know, without going through this, I explained to him the whole things about the facts of life. He seems to be doing well now. It didn't hurt him to not have some of that candy. I don't know for certain, you know, I don't know every personal thing about the kids, and I don't really care to know because they're grown up enough to do their own thing. But anyway, that's what I think we need. We need somebody, because the people never were taught to not take a cookie that's not theirs, or to do it in moderation, and now they have become bloated to the point where nothing matters. You know, they talk about 5 million, 10 million, 20 billion. They talk about these numbers like they mean nothing. You know, there's so many people, like I have so many freaking neighbors, and not like in my immediate area, but people that I see, that I met in the area, who are not really doing that well as far as money coming in, but yet manage to live a decent life. You know, they try to be happy and do what's right. They raise their children to do what's right and to get freaking jobs when they can. And it's just not fair that somebody else should be allowed to keep going into the cookie jar and then bring all their friends in on the same cookie jar. And if this wasn't the way things were going, tell me, why are there so many people running to be the president or running to be some politician or whatever? They're doing that because they know there's a free cookie jar there, that it's unlimited cookies and they can keep taking as many as they want. I'm telling you, this will come to an end, one way or another. You just keep pushing the American people, and you're going to get, and one of these days you're going to push the wrong person, and he's going to fight back. And he's not going to only fight back in a way that government can control him. He's going to fight back in a way that is so intelligent that people will not be able to understand him while he's doing it. I'm not sure where it's going to come from, but I believe it's going to come from somewhere. So anyway, guys, that's my thing for today. Have a good one. Bye. Hey boy, you ready to go bye-bye? Okay, we're going to go. Let me get me your collar and stuff, and your bell that 3 people don't like in this country. You want to go bye-bye? Do you? Yeah. I got the woodmizer out today just to leave it charge the battery. So I'm running it there, and I was also checking to see if any mice had built any nests anywhere in it, and it's good, there's not even any droppings anywhere. So I'm going to put one of those things on there that I had bought the other day to keep mice out of machinery, and see if that doesn't make sure that they don't get in all winter. Man, it's cold today. We're somewhere down around, I don't know, 18, I guess. It's supposed to go down into the single digits on Sunday. This is that stuff I was talking about the other day. I know I mentioned it more than once. It does appear to be working. I've gotten some comments from some people who use it and say it works great. So what I'm going to do is see if I can't find a good spot to set it on the woodmizer, so I don't have to worry about anything making nests in this, because I'm not using it over the winter here. I can put this stuff actually right back in here. Now it's supposed to be in a confined area. The problem here is that you know, right now I'm out in the air, but when it's inside here, it's more confined. It's not that big of an area. Yeah, there's a lot of wind can get in here and air, but I think it's better than nothing. So I'm going to leave that sitting in there for the winter. I think there was one guy who had said to me that the mice got up under his air cleaner and made a pretty good mess. Boy, that was a comment that was maybe about 10 months old or better. But I don't see anything, you know, up in there that would give me any indication that they were in there. Probably because there's no food on it and there's no smell of food. But of course that doesn't matter. There's no food in the tractor either, and they were getting in those things. So yeah, I'm satisfied that this battery's going to be good. So I charged it up a little bit. I'm not going to worry about it for the rest of the winter, like I say, except to run it every now and then. And we should be alright with that. I put fresh gas in there, I want to say about a month ago, and have a little bit of stay-bill in it, so that should also be good for a while. I got to get some logs. I'm itching to do some cutting, but I need to plane all the lumber that's in the kiln, or else I have nowhere to put it. Alright baby, I'll see you later. I'm going to put it back in there for, like I say, we're supposed to get a good storm coming the next day or two. I'm going to try and, I don't have enough bungee cords, so I'm going to take some rope, see if I can't wrap it around this tarps, just to keep the snow from getting down in between the rails and stuff. It's hard to shovel that snow out of there. They're talking about a really wet snow to start off with, and then possibly, you know, temperatures in the single digits, which is going to make that snow be like a rock on there. So I don't know if I'm going to be using it before then, but I just figured I'd cover it up. I've been wanting to make something out of wood, lightweight wood, to put on there. Now, even if I would cut some like 1/2-inch thick pine boards, just to cover the top of it, to keep the snow basically off of it, it would probably work good. What's going on, boy? Huh? That should be good. I don't mind shoveling the snow off the top of the tarp. I have a piece of, I put 3 pieces of siding down the middle of the bunk just to support that a little bit. So, you know, if the snow blows a little bit or whatever, that's not an issue. But when you get 12 inches of snow down between the 6x6s and it freezes and thaws and freezes, you know, it gets to be ice and you can't get it out of there. Like I say, right now I haven't been using the sawmill. I got to get some logs here. I'm waiting for a delivery of logs, but they haven't started the project yet, so I don't know how. I might have to wait till April for that. But in the meantime, I do have some trees I'd like to cut down of my own. I should get on that soon. If you watch my videos, you know I've been spending a lot of time getting caught up with maintenance stuff. I mean, we managed to get the backhoe running good, we got the tractor running good, you know, a lot of other little things that you just don't see in the sidelines, plus our regular chores. So we're doing good. Things are working out nice. So this past year, as most of you know, the leaves fell and I never got to clean them up because it rains so often. So these leaves here have blown into the sawmill shed. Just want to clean it up a little bit. The sunny weather is giving me the urge to do work, but I know we're going to get a storm here soon. Sally and I were talking, and I think that this year, this is just thinking, besides putting the crane up right here, I want to be able to cut that pine down right here. And I'm thinking about adding a 12-foot section onto my garage there again, just so I can park my truck that I don't use in there. And then I'll have room in the main garage for stuff. Or I'll leave the trucks in there and use this as a workshop. Although it's not heated, the heat's already in the garage. I wouldn't mind if this wasn't heated. So as far as the truck parking in there, so I got to see what I'm going to do yet. It's a nice white pine. I don't want to lose it to something. It's been a while since I tested this wood, so I'm going to check this. It's all around 10%, anywhere between 9 and 10, and that doesn't surprise me because of no sun for so long. So we're just going to keep cooking it in there. I won't be doing anything to that until spring anyway.